Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Welcome to Footwork.
Maël Corboz is a midfielder for SC Verl in the 3rd Bundesliga. A 27-year-old from the USA, he's played for Maryland University, for the Red Bulls in the USL, for MSV Duisburg in the 2nd Bundesliga, the Go Ahead Eagles in Holland, and more. He brings a wealth of experience and insight into an amazing conversation. Enjoy.
Yeah, I decided this year, 2022, one of my goals was to start a company. I knew in which direction I wanted to go, but it didn't matter what the company was. The goal was to start a company, try things, iterate, find out what works, what doesn't work, and then move on and see what happens. I'm still in the phase where, the company could crash and burn any minute, which is, then it is what it is. And next time I try something, then I'll be so much wiser. So I don't know if I should already delve in real quick. The company I started is called ElevenGreen. And the goal is to bring more environmental sustainability to sports clubs here first in Germany. I had a project in the Netherlands as well, so that could be an interesting market. But basically, it was noticing how little clubs at my level do. So I would say like smaller 2nd Bundesliga clubs, 3rd division clubs, basically all of them. 4th division clubs, you have quite a few clubs that have a nice audience, a nice community, and they don't really even address the issue of climate change or our environment at all. And kind of taking a different approach to it and trying to show the clubs that it can be financially sensible to invest in sustainability or environmental sustainability. Red Bull at college level with even better players. And that was also a huge learning experience. Just being in that environment and kind of growing out of it. I went to Maryland from Rutgers, where I kind of could have done, I was a captain as a sophomore, and I thought I was the man. And then you go to Maryland, and I remember I transferred in the winter, and the first training sessions, I was like, damn, am I gonna play here? Like, what the fuck, what am I doing here? And then like how quickly you pick up the speed and you learn and you develop is quite impressive. And just being in these competitive environments, I think just pushes growth, because you either grow or you sink. And that's kind of, the hard truth to that sort of competition. But to your question, Red Bull, then in the summers I would play for Red Bull. Then they had developed this identity of pressing and everything. And I think that definitely had an effect on the way I play now too. Super high energy, a lot of, kind of this idea that defend going forward, just go to the next guy. I remember my first few months at Red Bull, Jesse Marsh stopping trainings to tell me, don't pass the ball sideways, play the ball forward, even if it's a 50-50. If we don't win the 50-50, we all move forward and we win the ball up there. And that was something different for me. And also this pressing idea of just go to the guy on the ball. Don't give him time. If the guy behind you is sleeping and they pass around you or something, it's his fault. But your job is go to the ball carrier, put him under pressure, stress him. So that whole identity, what they now have in Leipzig and in New York and in Salzburg, was definitely interesting because it was different and also kind of did shape me.
And how important is confidence in this whole umbrella? I mean, keeping that confidence when you might mess up or fail or have fear, to know that you're good enough in these situations to try again and to do better the next time.
Yeah, it's huge. I think you both probably know when I look back at games where I wasn't confident, and then I look back at games where I'm confident, it's like watching two different players. And you could be whoever you want, and some guys deal with it better than others, but everyone knows how it feels. So having confidence is huge, and there are ways to kind of mitigate the highs and lows by preparing. Okay, what happens in the worst case scenario, in the biggest stress scenario? What do you fall back on? You fall back on like your foundational beliefs on how you want to play soccer, or your philosophy of how you want to live. And those fundamental things have to be strong, because when shit hits the fan, that's what you fall back on. And that's kind of, you fall back to that foundation. So how can you build up that foundation to be strong here and not here, so that when you fall down, you're at a pretty good level. Again, I haven't mastered that at all. Like, I look at games even last season where I'm like, damn, you let the pressure of relegation get to you. And you didn't play your game. You didn't play the way you know you can. So stuff like that is, confidence is huge. And ego is the enemy was at a time when I just came to, American accent, SC Verl. And I had come with like, obviously very small. This is third division, so a small transfer fee, but that was kind of like a stigma. When you arrive at a club with a transfer fee, you make a bad pass, that's the first thing you hear as a joke, but these jokes kind of hurt.
Yeah.
And so that was something I started reading when I felt like at the beginning of my time, I was a bit disappointing I wasn't playing as well as I would have liked to, especially during that adjustment period. And then I started reading this book, and it was a way of kind of cheaply giving away the responsibility. So everything that I want, all the things I want to achieve have to do with my ego, when all of this actually doesn't matter, is kind of the message that I got from it. And it helped me a lot. It took a lot of pressure off in that time, and I got out of this rut and ended up having a really good end of season. And so I don't know if it's because of that or not. And so I thought, like, okay, this idea of the ego as the enemy is really working for me. Okay, so I'm gonna keep taking this. And last season, I felt there were moments where I was too nice, because I was too step back, it all doesn't matter. And I lost a little bit of this bite. And now I'm back to the point where, okay, how do you find, once again, this balance? Because I do need the ego. I need the bite. I need to get on the field and be like, you know what? I don't care who's in front of me today. Like, I'm going to score somehow, or nothing's going to stop me from winning, and stuff like that. And it's about me the whole time. So it's kind of anti-ego is the enemy. And so there are these two conflicting views, and I'm still trying to figure out what is right and what's best for my career. So the ego point is very, very interesting. Ego is the Enemy was a great book. I would recommend it to anyone, and then make their own decision about how they deal with their own ego. It's eye-opening in how much ego is involved in every single decision we make.